Hi, my name is Breakfastbod. I'm a Warzone streamer and content creator. I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and on the weekends on Twitch. I stream to create a fun, safe space for my community and me to enjoy.
Hi, hello, welcome everyone. My name is Watch Holly. This is Breakfastbod. We're going to talk about offline content and how do you grow your Twitch stream when you're not streaming. But before we get started, Brecky, go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so as you know, my username is Breakfastbod. A lot of people call me Brecky. I'm a business owner. I'm a father of two. I'm a husband. So got a pretty busy life, and I try to make the most out of streaming.
Oh my God. Wow. Congratulations on all of that. That's huge.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about offline content growth. Do you use social media platforms, or what's your offline content strategy to grow?
So I do post mostly on TikTok. I also post some on X. I do see some growth out of content, but I also see a lot of growth out of just relationship building, which is what my answers are going to revolve around today.
Yeah, no, I love that. Okay. So if you want, we can switch this question up a little bit, morph it how you'd like to, because I'm going to ask, what's your content pipeline and how do you repurpose your Twitch VODs into your social media?
Yeah, so the content pipeline, basically I have an OBS buffer set up where I can clip any type of Warzone funny moments or plays that I make. I get the highest quality out of the Warzone, out of the OBS buffer. And then I used to use CapCut to cut the clips and create overlays. But recently, you know, I've hired an editor. I've been in a privileged position to hire an editor and trying a lot of new things with his powers of editing, you know?
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I would say if we could all afford it, get an editor, because it's just,
Right.
like you're already streaming 4 or 6 hours or however many, and then you have kids and a job, and also like, oh my God, there's so much. Like, how can we edit?
Yeah, insane.
Oh my goodness. We'll talk about your video editor for a second. How often does he post, and how often do you get content for him to edit?
So anytime I'm streaming, I'm gaming, and basically if I find enough content, I'll send him over maybe 2 or 3 videos at a time, and he'll crank them out usually next day or a day or two. And so I tend to post every other day basically on TikTok.
Okay, nice. And how is that rhythm kind of affecting your growth every other day?
I think that the more consistently you post on TikTok, it tends to reward you. You know, obviously with TikTok, the FYP, the For You page is super important. And yeah, like I said, I think the more consistently you post, the more TikTok will push out your content. So if I stray away from that, I do notice a dip in followers and engagement. So if I catch a stride, usually it's kind of snowballs into a positive thing.
Yeah, definitely. And what's your best performing piece of content that you have?
So my best piece, I recently uploaded a clip. It's 19 seconds of me in the. Are you familiar with Warzone at all?
No, not really. I'm sorry.
Not really. So in Warzone, we have what's called the Gulag. It's a 1v1 situation. Whoever wins the quick 1v1 returns to the battlegrounds per se. In this case, I had a very rare clip where I traded with a guy. He eliminated me. I eliminated him. And we both got out of the Gulag. I've never seen it happen in my life. It was a 19-second clip. It did 4 times the views that I normally get. And I think it did well because it was short. It was to the point. It was a very rare moment, like I said. And yeah, you just sometimes you gotta strike when the iron's hot per se. Like, I know when I posted that video, the map had just dropped the same day. It was a huge update for the game.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to, you know, timing is also a factor.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's very true. Sorry, I don't know Warzone, but it makes sense. Like, if something that you've never seen before and then you post it while it's still hot, people are like, whoa, like I've never seen that either.
Right.
Yeah. So talk about other offline ways that you can grow rather than social media.
So I think a lot of my growth personally has come through the relationships that I've built on Twitch, whether it be with my chat or with other streamers. This is not to be confused with clout chasing by any means, but sometimes you meet a streamer you like as a viewer, and then you put in time in their chats to get to know them, get to know people in the community. You essentially become part of their community. And then naturally, the relationship will flourish. And, sometimes you get positive things for yourself out of that. I never expect anything when I'm building these relationships, but truly, the most growth that I've seen is because of people that I've built these relationships with. No one does it by themselves. And as long as you enter something being genuine and authentic and, just being yourself, you typically help each other out. I mean, like I said, no one does it by themselves.
Yeah, definitely. It's like when one person succeeds, or if you succeed, you turn around and like grab the next person and bring them up too.
Yeah, for instance, one of my favorite streamers that streams Warzone is Breadman. He has a community called The Bakery. Because of The Bakery, I was able to enter streaming with 65 followers, which is rare. A lot of new streamers struggle to get that 50 followers for affiliate. And not to mention, I was able to accomplish affiliate status a week after streaming. Mm-hmm. And that's honestly all thanks to Breadman and The Bakery.
Yeah. Aw, that's so great. Because then you can also know a little bit about streaming as well too, and you have a little family to start off with.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I know you said that you have a video editor. Maybe what program does he use to edit? Or I know you referenced CapCut before. What program did you use to edit?
Yeah, so I think he uses Adobe Premiere, if I'm not mistaken, but that is way over my head. And like I said, I'm very busy. I don't have time to learn how to edit. Mm-hmm. And luckily, I'm able to pay him, whatever we agreed on. I'm incredibly privileged to be able to do that. I know not everyone can, but the point is, you have to make the best with what you got. CapCut is out there. CapCut is free. If you have the time to dedicate to learn how to edit, then do it. You got to do it for yourself. It's a skill that you can develop. Unfortunately, I don't have the time, and I do have a little extra cash, so
yeah. Oh my
it
God.
works out.
Yeah, definitely. And when your editor does post for you, do you notice that he makes a hook at the beginning of the videos, and how does he kind of implement that?
Yeah, so sometimes I go into a situation like a Warzone funny moment, knowing that this is going to be part of a TikTok. So of course I can kind of integrate a hook during the gameplay for myself, kind of having the foresight that I'm going to get this clip. But oftentimes, I'm just goofing off and he picks, like a funny one-liner for a funny clip, whether it be me talking about a dog or, just something random. I don't know. And then, of course, I've also tried to do some educational Warzone stuff on update days and stuff like that. So I kind of hit them with, here's everything you need to know with the season 3 update of Warzone. And, I'll kind of tell you what you're going to learn up front.
Oh my God, so good. Wow, I love that. And then when you do post those videos, do you look at the analytics afterwards?
I do. So like I said, I mostly post on TikTok. So I'm definitely looking at whether my video is being pushed out to that For You page. Of course, your followers are probably going to see it. But what you really want to do on TikTok is be on that For You page. So I'm looking at the views. I'm looking at those first. And then, like I said, that gives me a good indicator of whether it's being pushed out. Beyond that, I'm also looking at the engagement analytics. So whether it be like the comments or the likes, that kind of tells me, if I got good views on a video, but I don't have great engagement, like likes and comments, then that tells me maybe the For You page liked it, but the people receiving the content didn't so much like it. Mm-hmm. So when I'm able to hit the views and the likes and the comments, then obviously I know I got a good video.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And then when you do post on TikTok, do you ever use the sounds, the trending sounds that they have?
So I don't typically use the trending sounds or memes or anything like that. But every now and again, I'll adapt a very popular, trend to the Warzone space. Again, I'm a Warzone creator almost exclusively. Mm-hmm. So I find that those are good for engagement. But what I'm really here for is building that community. So I kind of stay away from, what's hot. You know what I mean?
No, definitely, for sure. And my last question is, do you have any other advice that you would like to give other content creators trying to get into the short form content?
Yeah, for sure. I would say look at the platform that you're planning on posting on, go to TikTok, go to YouTube, search the game or the content that you're going to be creating. For instance, I would search Warzone. I would look at the first couple results, see what's popping up first, see what's got the most views, the most likes. Of course, you know that stuff is doing well. But at this point, you have to decide, is this the kind of content that I want to be making? Is this something that I would feel good about making? And then try and get different stuff out. Like I said, I make mostly funny videos. I find that the funny videos are the ones that are doing the best. I kind of want to get into a little bit of storytelling, and the educational videos are great for update days. But beyond that, they don't do so well. So you just got to know what you like making and what you want to make, and hopefully that is in line with what is popular on that For You page or on the Reels.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a really, really good tip before you start playing the game. Just do a quick little Google. I'm literally going to do that right now. All right, perfect. Well, thank you so freaking much for being a part of this. We're going to say goodbye to YouTube, and then I'll say goodbye to you afterwards, okay?
Alrighty.
Great. All right. Well, everyone, make sure you check out Breakfastbod. Thank you so much for doing this, and bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.